All right, first off, before we even get into the video, for those who don't know, a very tragic thing has happened in the voiceover world. One of the greatest voice actors who's ever lived just passed away. Kevin Conroy, the infamous and beloved voice of Batman, among other things, but most well known for really truly bringing the character of Batman to life. Passed away, died at the age of 66, and he'll never be replaced, period. There's just this giant hole in the industry. There's this giant hole in all of our hearts, and it is just incredibly, incredibly sad. And the Batman animated series is one of the reasons that I got into writing, one of the reasons that I got into acting, one of the reasons I got into voice acting. It was just well done, and mostly thanks to his outstanding performance as Batman. My favorite Batman to this day. So, just putting that out there. And now on to the video. Alrighty, I had to put my phone on both airplane and do not disturb because this was like the second or third time trying to record this video. A lot has happened in the past couple days. Number one, I was at a film festival for off and on during 2 weeks, not that long ago, which was a lot of fun. You know, just overall great experience. And then almost immediately after that, I was sick with the flu. I know it was the flu because it was not that severe, if you know what I mean. It was not that severe. You listening, CDC? You listening? You listening? No, all jokes aside, I was very sick, and yeah, and I'm just, I'm finally to a point, I've still got a little bit of stuff in my chest, but I'm finally to a point where I can talk without any serious issue. Also, the aches and pains are, for the most part, gone, so no fever, just my body's just got a little bit of the aftermath left over. Anyway, the topic that I wanted to actually talk about today is actually also something that's kind of an old subject, but I didn't have a chance to record it before all of this shenanigans happened, and so now I'm talking about it now. But I'm not really talking about the incident, the thing that kind of got a lot of people up in arms, and that was the Bayonetta controversy, Bayonetta 3, I believe. I haven't played any of the Bayonetta games. I don't know really anything about them other than the fact that it's Nintendo and she's in Smash Brothers. I think it's Nintendo. Even that, I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, there was this big thing online when the actress posted a video saying that she was offered only $4,000. And at first, I also believed that, you know, she was in fact being shortchanged, you know, that I believe everything she said. Not saying that I don't. That, however, after doing a lot more digging and a lot more research, it may not be the full story. Now, I'm not saying which side I'm ultimately on, nor am I saying to boycott or not to boycott the game. All that's up to you. I don't care. I really don't care. That's not what this is about. But that incident, that particular argument, that particular kerfuffle online, stirred up a big conversation about, and this is really what the topic of today is about, something that I was kind of been thinking about for a while, is the statement that kept reappearing was voice actors should be paid a fair living wage. Something along those lines. Basically the idea of voice actors, living wage, that kept getting jumbled up and circled around. Not too much, but I did constantly see it pop up. And then there was a couple of people that I talked to personally about the issue, about the whole problem or her video and what was going on there. and they brought up the whole like living wage. And I started to think about it more and more and more. And after talking to a lot of people and reading a lot of posts and reading a lot of people's, opinions, I realized no one has really any idea what they're talking about. That doesn't mean anything. A living wage for voice actors, it doesn't mean it. It's a different area of work. Now here's what I mean. So voice acting is 100% freelance. Every bit of it is freelance. We are contractors. We are brought in individually. There's individual contracts. We're not on a long-term, there's no salary, okay? There's no weekly paycheck. So a minimum wage does not apply to voice acting at all. Also, even if there was a way of setting standards outside of the Screen Actors Guild or Screen Union, it would do damage to voiceover in general. There is absolutely no way of setting a hard and fast rule for any area of voiceover, period. That's it. Everyone is basically left to negotiate themselves or let their agents negotiate for them, and the studios can basically determine what they're going to pay, yada, yada, yada. And outside of SAG union projects, there's not really a way of regulating that. And to be honest, thank God, because that would mean that all the work would end up going to only the top tier voice actors. Because if people can only pay top tier prices, they're only going to pay and hire the same handful of top tier voice actors. But due to the fact that it is open, as far as like what can be negotiated, yes, that does come with downsides. There's a negative to that, obviously. But because that it is open to negotiation, there's job opportunity for pretty much everyone. If we put rules and regulations and there's like a minimum and there's a cap, over 95% of the voice actors out there won't be getting any work. That's it. And this is mostly just because over 90% of the work that's available has nothing to do with the union. It has nothing to do with Hollywood. Most of it is overseas. Most of it's small projects. Most of it's independent video games. And those are the kinds of areas that's where the majority of the work is. Not necessarily where the majority of the money is, but the majority of the work is. And that's an area where you can't set a minimum. Small independent content creators can't, pay top tier prices. If they did, they would just go to the big voice actors. So it's something that's never really going to happen. So a living wage, the demand for a living wage doesn't make any sense. It's not achievable. Now, we already have kind of a minimum and standards when it comes to the union. That's what the union is for. We have the union, so anything that is a large production, anything that is, some AAA video games, especially ones that have motion capture, are basically considered film and basically do fall under SAG union rates. But the majority of it does not. However, anything within that is protected, and you do have a minimum. There is a guaranteed minimum that you will be paid. There's also there are some studios that have basically accepted kind of a general minimum across the board. For example, Smite. Smite basically pays $250 an hour, $250 an hour per character. Now, let's just use that as an example. I did that recently. I don't remember what character I did, but it was a Halloween thing. He's got two heads and he's green goblin. Not goblin, but like a skeleton Lich King thing. I haven't played it. I haven't played the game, but that's the character that I did. Now, there are some people, and I know them, who have argued that $250 is not enough per hour for voiceover. And I think that's insane. Now, hear me out. Hear me out, especially when it comes to Smite. And this is one of the reasons that voiceover is very, very tricky. especially when you're looking at it not just from the voice actor's perspective. A lot of people just come at an argument from their perspective. They don't look at something from the whole picture. They're like, I want more money, therefore we should be getting more money. You got to think realistically, outside the box, outside your box. But think about it from Smite's perspective. They're paying a voice actor to do a character that no one has to play. And what if nobody actually plays that character? What if no one actually chooses the character I voiced, and at no point in time are any of my audio files played out during the game? There's no way of knowing that. It's not like a movie where you're guaranteed to be in it. It's a video game, you know, and it's not even like an NPC for a mission that you like have to go do. It's just, people have the choice. People have the option. So when you think about it from that way, how much of an investment is my performance in this game in general? How much of an investment to them is it? Now, obviously, I would love to be paid more, but $250 for an hour is not bad. If you compare that to any other occupation, that's an insane amount of money per hour. That's crazy. $250? And then there's a lot of other areas where people get paid way more in voiceover per hour. But just generally speaking, that's not bad. Why some people don't think that is enough to live off of, I don't understand. I don't get that. Sure, when we think about the area of voicing anime, when we think of dubbing and ADR in that area, yes, a lot of the time it isn't enough. Sometimes it is $50 or $75 an hour. But that's for like minor characters. Again, really, really small roles. And when you think about it from the perspective of the anime dubbing studios, they're not actually making that much money. There's not a lot of profit off this. So again, how much of an investment is this? You can't ask a company or an industry more money than they are actually able to make. Now, there are bigger productions when it's, when it's more of like a movie, it's actually going to be in theaters, or it is a main character. Yes, you can be paid more when it comes to anime and dubbing. But generally speaking, it's not that profitable. I think one of the things that bugs me is I don't know how much work people are expecting to do when it comes to voiceover. There are some major players in the voiceover industry that really either only want to or only actually do a few performances, a few gigs, a few characters a month. They'll do like one or two, and then the majority of the month is basically just open. And I don't get that. That's why you see a lot of bigger, top tier voice actors doing a lot of coaching and doing a lot of books and doing a lot of going to conventions and stuff like that. They have a lot of free time because they're not actually recording that much. And then they're just making a whole lot more. Now, I'm not in their area. I'm not in their field. So, I can work more hours. Also, I have a home studio. I work here. So I can come in here and I can do work and I can leave. So the question is, how much are you actually needing to live at the end of the year? And then how many projects are you hoping to get in a month? Calculate that. I don't think anyone's calculating that. I think there seems to be this idea that you should do a small number of gigs, a small number of projects, and basically make enough money to last you for the rest of the year. And yes, that is possible when you're in Hollywood, when you are a top tier A-list actor, A-list voice actor. Yes, that is possible. But for the majority of us, the majority of the people that we're saying living wage doesn't mean anything, that's not possible. You can't do that. Also, that's really only maybe an argument if you're a voice actor working on a show on a regular basis, like Family Guy, Rick and Morty, something like that, and you're on there on a regular basis. You know that you're going to be doing a good amount of work every single year. You can kind of plan for this. Maybe then you can negotiate for more pay because you have something that you can foresee. You have numbers that you can crunch, just stuff that you can look at. But voice actors who are freelance, who almost every single project is a completely different person, is a completely different client and a completely different face, who are you saying this to? Who are you demanding more money from? If you want more money, charge more. Increase your rates. That's it. Nobody's going to negotiate for you unless you have an agent. And most of my work does not come through an agent. If I want more money, I ask for more money. I negotiate for more money. It's that easy. Like, I don't need to scream out into the ether of Twitter for more money. I want more money, I'll just ask for more money. These are my rates now. I've increased them. That's it. So that was just really weird. And there was a lot of people that... The reason I really want to talk about this is because I don't want people to have this weird idea of voiceover. I want people to have this weird concept that it's the same as a desk job or it's the same as any other 9-to-5. It's not. There's no way of having a minimum wage. Period. There's no way of having set fast rules that we can all agree on. If the industry wanted to set a minimum for, voiceover, I wouldn't give a shit. I wouldn't abide by it. I don't care. I would still be going by my rules. The same rates and rules that apply for me and my clients. The negotiations that I've done. They were not there for the negotiations. They're not there to help me make more money. Sure, they're there, trying to make the industry in general better from a single perspective. But it's going to actually reduce the amount of work. So there are some areas where, we can always increase pay. We can always ask for more. Anything involving the Screen Actors Guild. I've also been an actor. I also am an actor on camera. And I can genuinely tell you, this is another thing that needs to be taken into perspective. How difficult is voiceover overall? Some people really seem to declare that it's like the hardest job, that it really demands a lot. It doesn't. It really doesn't. I've done acting for film, I've done acting for commercial, and I've done voice acting. The acting for commercial is the hardest. Acting for film, a little bit less. Voice acting, so much less. So much less. So I wouldn't ask for more to do voice acting than I would acting, because acting on camera is way more strenuous. Asks way more, so much more of you. Asks so much more. So it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to be demanding to get paid more to no one. No one can actually pay you this, to a job where you can just wear your pajamas. So I just wanted to say that because it was something that was kind of bugging me. I like to put things into perspective. I just want a lot of people to understand that if you want more money, you're complaining that you're not getting enough money doing voiceover, ask for more money. Negotiate for more money. What is wrong with you? Also, now that I think about it, why was the lady from Bayonetta doing her own negotiating? If the company would have just been going through her agent, not her, why was she directly communicating with them? Interesting. Anyway, yeah, that's going to be it. Not a big topic, but one that I did kind of want to really get some detail out there. And this is obviously going to be going up on Sunday. I'm recording this on Saturday because I tried recording it last night, but then there was all kind of interruptions, people coming in and out of the house at like 11, to midnight, and I was like, I'm tired, I'm sweaty, I'm gonna wait. So yeah, but hopefully everything's normal. Hopefully I'm not sick. Hopefully no more tragedies. Hopefully, fingers crossed, God willing. So anyway, that's going to be it. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Totally fine. Subscribe if you're new. Bell for notifications. And leave down in the comment section below. Like to see me cover any other topics. Also, my email is in the description. If you have any personal questions you'd like to ask me personally, something too intimate to leave down below. I mean, that makes it sound weird. But yeah, it's going to be it. And until next time, peace.